So now you move to the States, right? And you decide to just chase this career path and everything.
I was very sure what I wanted to do. When I went to the States, I knew I was going to go to beauty school.
Yeah.
But what I wasn't sure of is how challenging that journey was going to be.
Yeah.
Because you go there thinking, I'm going to go to beauty school, then Hollywood is going to call me and I'll be
working
doing
with
makeup.
Beyonce by next week.
I'll be doing Beyonce's makeup by next week. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But that's not exactly how it goes. There's a lot of challenges, and that's something that's very dear in my heart to share with people, is that when you're taking
we have time. We have time.
Yeah.
That's all we have.
When you choose to go and chase your dreams, please just stick to it, because it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worthwhile. And a lot of people are going to tell you, oh, this is what you should do. There's going to be so many opinions, but just listen to the fact that, to your heart, the fact that you came here for a reason with one vision, so you want to follow that.
Because even when you're pursuing this, are you pursuing it alone? Are there relatives that are on the same path? Like when you're in the States, it's just you alone going to beauty school and,
There's always relatives, but when you go abroad, just know
you're kind of alone. You're kind of alone. Yeah.
It's you against the world, because it's not like here where when your relatives are in your corner, they're in your corner. When you're sick, they're bringing you dawa, they're bringing you fruit. When you're sick there, you have to figure it out, because you're wondering, am I going to go in for my shift?
Yeah.
Or am I going to be sick? Or am I going to eat lunch? There's no in between. Like, you have to figure out, because every paycheck counts. So when you
per
see
hour.
When you see Americans,
it's not like Kenya, right?
Paycheck to paycheck is real. So if you miss one day, you have to figure out how you're gonna make up.
Oh wait, that's not like because the previous guest is actually a budgeting coach, and we were talking about like how, and I don't know if this is correct. Of course, you can. Nduta, what's up? What's up? So, and this is something that we also always see like on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
But the whole paycheck to paycheck thing, we're told real. In the States, it's real. But we're also told that a big percentage, more than 50% of Americans do not have $1,000 in their account for an emergency.
You don't.
It's true.
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
I mean, for me personally, I'll say this. When I was doing, before I said...
before, of course, now.
After beauty school, I had to get a job that was helping me to pay my rent. So I went into finance. How they even hired me, I don't know.
You do finance as well?
I didn't have any qualifications, and they hired me, and I was like, you know what, I'm here. The money is great.
Yeah.
So I stuck to it for 4 years, but I was so unhappy.
Oh.
But guess what? I did have savings. I had over $1,000 in my bank account, but I was miserable. I was actually depressed, if I'm being honest. But the money was good. So when you choose your passion, sometimes you have to say, listen, the money might not come immediately, but you just have to stick to it.
If you're getting depressed, at least get compensated.
I know. The compensation was there.
Yeah.
But then the switch up of moving from like having such a good job in finance to moving into doing what my passion is.
Yeah, okay. Now
that was crazy, because I was taking 4-hour bus rides.
To location now
to my job.
Yeah.
Just to make minimum wage and choose between having lunch or paying for my bus.
What?
It was very humbling. And here you're like, you're a big deal, because your parents have taken care of you. You've been shielded. But when you're there and you've made that decision, you can't start going backpedaling and telling your parents, oh, send me money. You chose to come here.
Yeah.
So you have to really go on that journey by yourself. So you have to ask yourself, are you ready for that?
And I think even at times people, like probably in Kenya, that's what I was saying, like you see, if you pick like, let's say, a 20-year-old in Kenya, and you pick a 20-year-old in the States. Yeah. Those are two different brains on how people are functioning.
Completely.
Because in the States, people probably start working when they're
16.
Yeah. In Kenya, probably 24, 25.
25.
That's when you're getting your first paycheck.
And even then, your parents are still giving you pocket money.
Yeah. So,
they're saying, uko sawa?
Yep.
Nataka money ya pesa ya nini? Ya transport.
And I think even as much as parents would, that's playing a big role, but it's kind of like, what's the correct word to use it? Not enabling, but you're not really teaching you.
It's too shielded.
You're shielding the kids too much.
Because now when you go into a space where you have to fend for yourself, everything is just so crazy. It's
and everyone
overwhelming.
else is like hustling.
Everyone else is
18-year-old,
hustling.
20-year-old, they're on the same pace
Yeah.
as you.
And I mean, I don't agree fully with how the Americans do it.
Yeah.
But at 18, they're asking you either pay a water bill, pay something so you can understand. Because I had never understood the concept of paying for anything. So me, I thought everything was just like easy peasy.
Yep.
And I realized, whoa, toothpaste and tissue is ridiculous. You
costs
can't just
money.
be using it
Yeah.
the way you feel like.
Yeah. True.
That was a shocker for sure.
But how do you even adjust to that, especially now being like also like a foreigner? This is somebody who's coming from Kenya, you're not.
Yeah.
Maybe your accent is a little bit different, and maybe even the state where you settled,
Yeah.
it's a bit different. You
It
stand
is.
out,
You
like
stand
maybe
out.
more white
Your
people.
accent is different.
Accent is different.
How you look is different.
Different, of course.
The way you do things is different. So
Yeah.
I think
So how do you adjust with that though? Is it easy? Is it hard? People looking at you weird,
you know,
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to the hot
yes,
takes.
That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
Are
no,
you
but we'll get there.
ready?
No, but just how is it like just adjusting to that? Forget about like just the bills, because even the culture, talking about people who are doing things differently and they
Yeah.
look completely different. Because when we're saying it and just in theory, or when you're watching it maybe in movies and stuff, that's completely different. Because even like for me, when I got to Europe, I was like, I think when we were there's a certain section of Germany where we went, it's like there are shags and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I don't want to say it's weird, but to me it was just like,
Yeah.
even if you paid me to stay here,
Yeah.
I can't stay here.
Some places are not what it's cracked up to
Yeah.
be.
So how do you adjust though to that? Mentally,
My answer is not
culture.
gonna make you guys happy. You don't. You never adjust. But you know what you do? You pretend. You just pretend, and you're like, you know what? I'm here. I'm going to do. It never feels like home. That's number one. But with time, it gets easier, and you have to, like I said, you just have to stay focused,
Yeah.
because you'll have so many challenges along the way that'll just make you want to give up and come back home. But when you remember why you came here and the reason that brought you to that place, it'll keep you going. And then you'll also notice that our work ethic and how all the values that we have from here, especially when you're born and raised in Kenya, you'll notice how that will work in your favor.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
at work, in the workplace, the things you'll be doing will be above average.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they'll be like, wow, Michelle does this. She goes out of her way to do this. And I'm like, that's how we were raised. That's how we were
True,
taught.
true.
In primary school, in high school, you were taught to always do everything to the finish.
Make sure you finish.
You finish and you do it to perfection.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I feel like Americans are lacking. They don't see the privilege that they have. We do. So that's what works in our favor.
And I think especially if you're coming from a background that's Kenyan and you're going there, you understand like maybe the potential opportunities that can come your way by you just being good at
By
what
you
you're
just
doing.
being good, because you'll see all the praises. Like, for example, for me,
Yeah.
when I was a makeup artist in different places, Sephora, NYX Cosmetics, I would get so many reviews from different clients randomly. So they have surveys where you talk about your experience, and almost all of them, I have evidence. You've seen it on my Instagram.
Yeah, she always posts,
People would always be coming back because of Michelle and the service I gave them, because I always understood that there's so much value in customizing your service and not just being a robot. So if I'm handling you, John Telewa, and I'm talking to you, I'm going to treat you differently than I will Miss Nduta over here, because I know what your needs are and they're different from hers. And that's what is going to keep you coming back.
True.